Oh, honey, you better get him to the altar quick. He's fading fast.
How do you feel?
Great.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, if I continue to improve, I may feel like going into Artsbury tonight for a couple of medicinal toddies. Under the care of a nurse, of course.
Isn't it amazing the way they make these miraculous recoveries as soon as a group takes off?
Hey, now, just a minute. If I had scrubbed out of a mission to Hamburg, that's goofing off. But San Nazaire? Why, you hand a mission like that to these standby pilots, and it's an act of charity.
Major, you're all heart.
That's just part of my Gallagher share the war plan.
For your information, he was running a fever last night.
Oh, I bet he was.
I still am. Nurse, help me, please.
Behave. See? Duty calls. Lieutenant Cummings. Yes? Just the one plane? Did they say how many casualties? Get set up.
Who got hit?
Flight
Yes,
emergency
thank you.
setup.
Who is flying your mission, Joe?
Hollander, Larry Hollander, why?
Because the message came from your plane. All they said was that the pilot had been very badly wounded.
I'll see you, baby.
12 o'clock high. A QM production. Starring Robert Lansing. Also starring Frank Overton and John Larkin. With guest stars Paul Burt, Sarah Marshall, and Barbara Feldon. Tonight's episode, End of the Line.
Joe, it's too late.
You mean?
He's dead. It's just one of those things that happens, Joe. You can't blame yourself.
Then who do I blame, General? He was flying my mission. In my seat.
Joe? Now, sit down, sit down. Nobody told me you were packing Larry Hollander's gear.
Yes, sir. He's going to get married.
Yeah, I know. He was in my office a week ago asking permission. May somebody.
Hudson. May Hudson.
Did you know her?
It's the first I knew about it.
I was planning to send Joe Cobb into town to check her out this week. Joe, I'm looking for a man for a special mission. It's very important. It's extremely hazardous, and it's strictly voluntary.
Okay, you got your man.
Don't wait a minute. Just wait till you hear what it is, all right? 2 days ago, the Germans captured a French underground leader. They've sentenced him to death 2 weeks from tomorrow. We're going to try and spoil a little party.
How?
He's being held at a little French town called Caserne in the foothills of the Alps near the Swiss border. A special team of commandos will be flown in by a single fort. They'll be dropped by parachute, and then the fort will fly support for them. Strafing, low level.
How low?
Treetop. You'll be carrying extra armament and fuel tanks.
Can it be done, General?
The most important thing, Joe, is to get used to this airplane. She flies like a nose-heavy, drunken pelican. It's like nothing you ever sat in before. Not many pilots who could do it, but it can be done.
Okay, I'll have a shot at it.
All right, good. You're detached to special duty as of now. Now, Captain Carmichael of the 29th Commando Brigade and his people will be in my office this evening. They're due at 2000 hours. Oh, you might take a look at the bird this afternoon, too.
Yes, sir. Oh, General. Yes. About this girl. Somebody's going to have to tell her about Larry.
That doesn't have to be you, Major.
Oh, I think it should be. If it's all the same with you.
All right, if that's what you want.
Thank you.
Major, don't start writing yourself about Larry Holland to death. You just keep your mind on this mission, all right?
Yes, sir.
Yes?
I'm Major Gallagher. I call from the air base.
Oh, yes, to see May. What's it about? I'm a rat, Mrs. Forrester.
Oh, well, I'm sorry, Mrs. Forrester, but this is a private matter.
Oh. Well, suit yourself, Docs. May, company's here. That Yank would call from the base. Make yourself to home. You can sit down there any place.
I'm May Hudson. And I might as well tell you I've been terrified about this. Please. Oh. Well, now, let's see. What kind of things will you have to know? No birthmarks, scars, or tattoos. I've never been married before. My mother and father are both dead in the Blitz. And
Miss Hudson, I'm afraid you have the wrong idea.
Larry said somebody... This isn't about the marriage application?
No, I'm afraid it isn't.
What is it then?
Well, you see, Miss Hudson,
What is it?
Larry was killed. I'm sorry. Miss Hudson,
There couldn't possibly be any mistake.
No.
No. Were you a friend of Larry's?
Yes, we were at West Point together. He used to come to our summer home in Connecticut. As a matter of fact, I was the one that pretty much talked him into pilot training.
Did he tell you about us?
No, well, it's a rather large base. I've been on flying status, and he was standing by, hoping for a crew. We didn't get to see each other very much. And he's been running off always. No doubt to you.
Well, it sounds good to me. Frank?
That's fine. I think we need one full practice mission before we go, though.
Yes, sir. There's a spot in the Grampians. We'd like to run a complete rehearsal there.
Let's say a week or 10 days.
Carmichael? Good, yes. Well, gentlemen,
Thank you very much. Sir. Didn't Major Gallagher know about this meeting, Frank?
Oh, that's my fault, Wiley. He had something important to attend to in Archbury, and...
From now on, nothing has priority over this mission. Now, either Gallagher accepts that, or he's out. Good night, Frank.
Good night, Wiley.
Ain't no fair. You've been practicing.
Honey, I'm so sorry.
For what? You're right on time. Give or take 3 hours and 15 minutes. How is she?
You know?
Major Stovall told me where you were.
Oh, that's great. What a relief. Let's sit down, huh? I'm sure glad the Major told you where I was. I just couldn't leave her alone, Claire. I drove her over to Bishop Stortford. We were talking about her life, what she and Larry had been planning. You know, it's amazing, it really is. But with her whole future out of the window in one fell swoop, do you know what she was worried about?
No.
Me. She was worried that I would feel it was my fault. That I'd feel she'd blame me for what happened. I can sure see why Larry liked her. Plus now she's all alone. She needs help, Claire. She really does. I'm sorry, baby. Let's have a drink, huh?
I don't think so, Joe. Rain check, okay? Tomorrow night. Same time, same place. You can't miss me. I'll be wearing forget-me-nots.
Claire. Honey, well, about tomorrow night, she's planning to fix dinner. I guess more to keep busy than anything else.
Forget I mentioned it. Happy fish and chips, Joe. Good night.
Major Gallagher! Are you aware that I was expecting you in my office tonight?
No, sir. I thought when you gave me permission to go into Archbury.
Yeah, all right. Well, let's just say we got our signals mixed. Maybe I didn't make myself clear. It won't happen again.
No, sir.
Joe, in 2 weeks, a dozen commandos are going to be betting their lives that you can handle that airplane. You start learning how at 0600 tomorrow morning. Is that clear?
Yes, sir.
In the air, Army Air Corps. Keep the nose up in the blue. Yeah.
He's off now. He's off.
And this is your father on his wedding day? For the clothes in those days, that's very funny.
Thank you, Joe,
For what?
for just being here.
I should be thanking you. It was a great dinner.
I'm glad you liked it. I love to cook. Larry was telling me about all those wonderful houses in California with the kitchen and the living room all one. Just a counter to separate them. Bright and sunny. We're going to... We were going to. Dear me, look at me crying in my tea. Sorry, Joe.
If it helps, Meg, go ahead and cry.
I'm afraid once I get started. I'm all right now.
Good.
It's Auntie I'm worried about. It was a little thing, but she counted on it so.
What are you talking about?
Oh, nothing really.
No, what is it, May?
Nothing, I told you. It was a loan that... No, it doesn't concern you.
Was Larry going to lend your aunt some money? Is that it?
Please, Joe. I'll be cross, I really shall. I meant it. It doesn't concern you.
Well, now, I happen to think it concerns me very much.
She's gonna lose her shop.
Oh. Well, how much does she need?
She's awfully proud.
Look, she doesn't have to know anything about it. How much?
A great deal, I'm afraid. 300 pounds.
All right.
How are the pictures? Dreadful. Oh, dearie me. It is getting on, isn't it?
Oh, it is. I didn't realize it was so late.
I don't mean to rush you off, Ducks.
I'll be getting my coat. Well, thanks again, May. I really enjoyed it.
Well, you know the number if time ever starts to hang heavy on your hands, which I don't suppose it will.
Well, I'll call you. You know that.
Soon, please.
Tomorrow, if you'd like.
I'd like very much.
Good night.
Soon, please. They ought to be let out alone nights, and that's a fact. So much for Larry Ellender, eh, lovey?
Friends of yours?
A couple of nurses from the base hospital.
Oh,
May, I wonder if I could take you straight home. I'm flying a practice mission in the morning, and I'm rather tired.
well, of course, Joe. You should have said something before. We needn't have come out at all.
In 60 seconds, Major.
60 seconds, Nick will give you the green light.
Right on, Major.
Seconds, Major. Green light. They're going out, Major. Take away, Major. 5, 10, 15, 20. Major? The turn, Major. Pull her up, Major! Pull her up! Power! Give me power! Help me pull her up! Now pull her up! We're going in! Hey, that gun! Hold it! Hold it! Hey, that gun! They hit the hatch.
It's a miracle nobody was killed. No credit to you. Now, what happened? Do you know how long it's going to take us to get another bird in the air? Another bird armed and ready?
Yes, sir.
Then what happened?
How I got on top of that paratrooper, I just don't know. But I pulled up too fast and stalled and spun out.
All right, why, Joe? You were handling that thing as though you owned it.
I don't know. I guess I was just too tense.
All right, what's bothering you, Major?
There's a girl on the base, Lieutenant Cummings, who means a lot to me. And then there's May Hudson, Larry's fiancée.
Are you trying to tell me that the war is interfering with your social life, Major?
Look, General, maybe you'd better get somebody else for this job.
There is no time to train another pilot to handle that aircraft. Now, the balloon goes up on Thursday, Gallagher. By that time, I expect you to have your personal life straightened out. Clear?
Yes, sir. After tonight, I won't be seeing Miss Hudson anymore.
All right. Just so we understand each other.
Yes, sir.
That'll be all right.
Joe, really, it's awfully sweet. But she'll never accept it. Too much like charity.
Tell her we found a will or something. Say that Larry left it to her.
hope she'll believe it. Sit down, I'll make a drink.
Well, May, to tell you the truth, I have to be getting back to the base.
I see. Perhaps tomorrow.
Well, I have this pretty special job coming up. I'm afraid it's going to take up most of my time. The point is,
The point is, I won't be seeing too much of you in the future, is that it?
well, not until this job is done with anyway.
Please, Joe, I understand. I really do.
Look, I'll call you.
No, you won't. You know it as well as I do. Kiss me goodbye. Oh, Joe, God bless. Thank you for the last few days. They've been wonderful. Really, they have. Please go now. Please. Please. Well?
I want you to know, Claire, I'm sorry for the way things have been.
I guess I'm pretty much to blame myself. I've been behaving like a miserable, jealous little twerp.
I won't be seeing her anymore.
Oh? As of when?
Tonight. I just left her.
How did she take that?
Like an angel. She thanked me for everything. Very understanding. That's just it. That's why I feel like a...
Like what, Joe?
like a heel.
You feel that you took Larry Hollander away from her and that you owe her something. Dispensary. Yes, he's right here. It's for you.
Me? Hello? What? Well, how did it happen? Yes, I'll be there right away. That was her aunt. May just tried to commit suicide.
It was pills. The doctor pumped out her stomach. Oh, we did have a time of it for a while. I found her on the floor right here with an empty bottle of pills by her aunt. She's been asking for you.
May? May?
I expect I can't do anything right. Funny, isn't it? You wake up one morning with a cold and I end up...
May, why did you do it? Why?
It wasn't anything to do with your leaving me or the 300 pounds. Oh, Joe, it's such a rotten, filthy world. bad enough if you have a name and father, but to bring a poor little tyke into it without... I just can't.
May, what are you talking about? What is it?
I thought maybe you guessed. It's Harry's baby.
Why didn't you tell me?
Strange, isn't it? How much difference a wedding ring makes. Oh, John, I'm so tired and frightened, and I don't want to live. I don't want to live. No.
Now, don't be frightened, May. Please don't be frightened. Listen, everything is going to be all right. Don't worry about the baby. Don't worry about anything. I'm going to make it all right. I promise you, I'm going to make it all right.
How? Oh, darling. Everything's gonna be all right now. As long as I have you. As long as I have you.
First thing in the morning. Let me know if she needs anything.
You're a rare one, aren't you? How my sister, rest her soul, could ever have had a child like you.
Now, what do you want?
300 pounds for one thing. What sad story did you give him for that?
Get out of here!
Oh, that was a quick recovery for a girl who's just had her stomach pumped out. Or were there any pills in the first place?
Get out!
Not under my roof, you don't. You owe me board and lodging, my girl, and I'll have it now.
You can take the whole thing. Soon enough, I won't be needing your miserable roof.
Well, I'll say one thing. The cat isn't in it with you when it comes to landing on your feet.
The room is paid for now. Pick it up and get out.
Allotment. That's all you care about, isn't it? Or maybe even some of that nice Yank insurance money. Oh, that'd be a day, wouldn't it? Just like winning a football pool. I hate you!
Marriage is a big step, Major.
I'm aware of that, sir.
I'm not finished, particularly for a man who intends to make the Army his career. Now, right or wrong, a man's wife...
Sir, I can assure you Miss Hudson is totally acceptable.
Joe, all
Begging the General's pardon, but I do know what I'm doing.
All right, dismiss, Major. Harvey, come in here a minute, will you?
Yes, Frank?
Harvey, listen, would you try and make a luncheon date tomorrow if you can with Miss May Hudson? You'll find her telephone number on that piece of paper.
May I use your phone, sir?
Yeah, go ahead.
I doubt she'll be able to make it, though.
Why?
I heard from one of the nurses she took an overdose of sleeping pills. Hello? I'm calling Miss Hudson.
She ain't here.
She isn't there?
You might find me at the Lion's Den on Barnaby Road.
Thank you. You might find her at the Lion's Den.
Didn't you put that joint off limits?
Well, it's still being processed. I think we might just get in under the line.
Come on, I'll buy you a drink. Come in. Eddie's me. Last night I tried to make an appointment to see Miss Hudson. She wasn't home. I was told I might be able to find her at a tavern called the Lion's Den. Major Stovall and I drove down there. Miss Hudson was there with another man, a chief petty officer from the Royal Navy.
Look, General, what are you trying to prove?
I'm trying to show you what kind of a woman this is, Major.
I don't care what kind of a woman she is, sir. I'm going to marry her.
Captain Whitelaw.
Yes, sir.
British intelligence has run a profile on Miss Hudson. Not comprehensive, of course. But apparently at one time she did quite a bit of modeling. Like that. These are her arrest records.
Joe, I didn't want to...
General.
You are General Gallagher's son, Joe. You
Now, look,
cannot-
General, I am going to marry her.
Why? Tell me why.
Because she's going to have Larry Hollander's baby, that's why. Now, will that be all, sir?
No, that is not all, Major. You're standing here all puffed up in your own nobility, ready to throw your own life down the drain just so that Larry Hollander's baby can have a name. And that brings me to another question. How do you know she's going to have Larry Hollander's baby, or anybody else's baby for that matter? Have you seen any medical documents, any proof? But you're all ready to get married, aren't you, Major? All right, Major. As long as you have this situation hanging over your head, I think you're in too much pressure to fly that mission. Dismissed.
Now, wait a minute, General. What does one thing have to do?
I said dismissed.
I've never even heard of the Lion's Paw or Den or whatever it's supposed to be called. Look, Joe, I'm not perfect. I have done some modeling. I don't deny it. I was even arrested once, but that's all in the past. Okay, Joe. If you don't believe me, why don't we both go down to the proprietor and ask him if I was there last night?
All right, maybe we should.
I'll get my coat. mean you'd really take me down there and humiliate me like that?
Well, I don't want to, May, but...
Okay, Joe, you can put down the coat. I was at the Lion's Den last night. I work there. Fill-in job as a temporary waitress whenever they need me. I didn't want you to know because I'm not very proud of it, but it's honest money. Well, now what's the matter? You know my guilty little secret, so can't you at least put down my coat?
May, I want you to go to the base hospital with me.
Why?
I want you to have a checkup. I want to make sure you and the baby are all right.
There's no need to worry about the baby.
Well, let's make sure, huh?
Sure of what? Joe, don't you believe that there is a baby? That's it, isn't it? Well, I've heard about doubting Thomases, but... Oh, I don't know, Joe. Maybe we just better call the whole thing off. If two people don't have trust between them, they don't have anything.
Well, help me to get that trust. Go with me to the hospital.
Oh, Joe, what's happening to us? I know we've been very confused and very, very hurt. But we have to promise not to be hurt anymore. Darling, I can love you like no other woman can love you. And we can have a baby of our own. Of our very own, Joe.
What about Larry Hollander's baby?
Listen to me, Joe.
There is a
Joe.
baby, isn't there, May?
Joe, stop asking me that! No! No, there isn't any baby. There isn't now, and there never was, and there never can be. As any competent doctor could tell you, there never can be. There never can be.
Well, I'm sorry about that. If there was a baby, May, I would have married you. I really would have.
Oh, why did Larry have to die?
Larry? Don't underestimate Larry. He would have found out about you in time. Thank you, General.
You're welcome, Major. Joe. Hurry back.
Yes, sir, I will. Kick her over.